Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're doing something pretty radical. We're doing a total perspective shift. We usually look at the natural world from the outside in, right? We see creatures as pests or maybe just data points on an ecological chart. But today, we are stepping directly inside a highly detailed, incredibly cinematic survival story. We're going to experience a complete life journey, not as humans, but from the viewpoint of one of the most maligned yet absolutely resilient creatures on the entire planet. So get ready, because we're about to experience the wild like never before. So, what if you were literally the most vulnerable creature on Earth? I want you to truly try and imagine embodying absolute vulnerability. You've got no armor, you have no massive size, and you definitely don't have a roaring voice to scare off predators. Instead, your entire existence is basically a high-stakes tightrope walk. From the exact moment you're born, you're surrounded by a world where almost everything is vastly larger than you, infinitely faster than you, and frankly, wants to eat you. We're taking a second-person journey today, putting you directly into the fragile wings of a wild mosquito.
Okay, let's dive into this. You emerge from the water for the first time. You drift silently through the night air. Just sit with that feeling for a second. We aren't just looking at dry, boring facts today. We're stepping into a real emotional, sensory experience. Imagine the soft wetland greens, the twilight blues, and those warm sunset oranges of your new home. This is a story of sheer instinct. It's about navigating incredibly dangerous environments, from quiet, stagnant swamps to bustling neon-lit city streets. Every single waking microsecond of your life is driven by an intense, inescapable biological pressure to simply survive until tomorrow.
To really grasp this, we've got to look at the biological roadmap. Your life is a relentless race against the clock. Days 1 to 3, you're a mere egg. Days 4 to 10, an aquatic larva. Days 11 to 13, you're a transforming pupa. And if you somehow survive all of that, weeks 2 to 4, you finally reach adulthood. There is absolutely zero time to rest. You literally have to rewrite your entire biological form from a water-dwelling swimmer to a highly agile aviator in less than 2 weeks. You're adapting your whole physiological structure while constantly under the threat of death. Section 1. Birth in the Shallows. So your story starts in the quiet, moonlit, and deeply precarious waters of a wetland. You begin life as nothing more than a tiny egg, just part of a fragile raft floating on a still, reflective pond. Below you, the dark water is absolutely teeming with unseen dangers. Above you, the sky offers literally no protection. Your very first experience of existence is pure, unadulterated helplessness. You're completely at the mercy of the elements, just drifting on surface tension, waiting to hatch into a world that's already actively trying to eliminate you. Section 2. The Aquatic Gauntlet. You finally hatched beneath the surface, and, well, welcome to your childhood. Honestly, it's basically a horror movie. You've got hungry fish darting through the reeds like tiny torpedoes, lurking frogs just waiting with lightning-fast tongues, predatory dragonflies patrolling right above, ready to snatch you the exact moment you surface. And if that wasn't enough, add environmental chaos to the mix. Sudden, violent storms threaten to wash your delicate body away entirely, not to mention the terrifying prospect of rapidly drying puddles. One hot afternoon could literally evaporate your entire universe. This whole stage, it's just defined by utter exhaustion and a desperate, non-stop search for food. You've got to constantly filter tiny microorganisms from the water just to feel the massive metabolic cost of your upcoming metamorphosis. You are incredibly tiny, balancing your natural biological curiosity with sheer heart-pounding panic. But biologically speaking, it's an absolute marvel. You're breathing through a tiny siphon tube resting right at the water's surface, constantly dipping down to avoid the shadows of predators above, only to rush back up before you run out of oxygen. It's lonely, it's physically demanding, and it is the ultimate test of resilience. Section 3. The First Flight. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer contrast. This is the dramatic climax of your early life, escaping that suffocating water. Let's compare these two distinct phases for a second. During the aquatic struggle, you were confined, right? Your threats were waterbound, and your singular focus was metamorphosis. But now, you've miraculously broken through the surface tension. You dry your fragile wings, and boom, you enter airborne adulthood. You trade a claustrophobic pond for an infinite, terrifying sky. Suddenly, you're navigating vast distances. The predators instantly shift from fish to birds, bats, and spiders. You're relying on entirely new flight instincts in a massive, sprawling, three-dimensional world. The absolute second you take that first flight, this ancient survival code just kicks right in. Step 1. Locate food to fuel your rapidly beating wings. Biologically, you're now equipped with incredibly sensitive receptors that can actually detect faint plumes of carbon dioxide from hundreds of feet away. It's like a built-in GPS for your next meal. Step 2. Evade airborne predators and those terrifying chemical clouds of human control efforts. Step 3. Find a mate in the vastness of the wilderness, relying on the specific harmonic frequencies of their wing beats to find your perfect match. And finally, Step 4. Reproduce to keep the cycle going. As an adult, your journey takes you through these breathtaking but absolutely perilous landscapes. You're navigating glowing sunsets, turbulent weather, and the highly dangerous human world. Just imagine the near-death experiences, a sudden swat from a giant hand, it's like fighting a final boss, or dodging thick clouds of chemical repellents. Imagine flying through a rainstorm where a single drop of water is basically the equivalent of a bowling ball hitting a human. No way, right? Yet, amidst all that danger, there are quiet victories. Finding a dark, safe resting place under a broad leaf, successfully securing the nectar or blood meal you need to ensure the next generation, just surviving one more night against impossible odds. Section 4. The Final Sunset. Your frantic, urgent journey is finally nearing its natural conclusion. As those brief days pass, you start to experience the poignant vulnerability of old age. Your wings are slower, your strength is fading. That incredible, nervous energy that kept you alive against all odds, it's steadily slipping away. You find yourself struggling to fly against even a gentle evening breeze. So, you retreat. You slowly return toward those quiet, damp wetlands where your incredible journey began. Your tiny body is finally beginning to weaken, bringing a cinematic, deeply emotional, and profoundly natural ending to a truly unbelievable struggle. So, the crucial point we're left with today is this final question. After living this struggle, can you ever look at a mosquito the exact same way again? We've traveled from a fragile egg on a moonlit pond, survived a gauntlet of terrifying predators, navigated the massive physical dangers of the human world, and felt the quiet fading of a fleeting life. This explainer takes a creature we so easily dismiss as a pest and reveals a magnificent, harrowing story of pure determination. Next time you hear that familiar buzz, you might just remember the incredible survival odyssey that tiny creature had to endure just to share the same air as you. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.